Good evening. It's Tessa-Marie and welcome to the Tessa-Marie Show. As you know, I am a woman on a mission. I am on a mission. I desire for you to live a fulfilled life. That's what I am, a woman on a mission that desires each person I meet to live a fulfilled life. So that is what I'm here for. I'm here for you to make sure that you get the chance to live your best life. I do not have all the answers, but one thing I know for sure, I can help you find a few answers of your own. I'll guide you there. I'll take you there. So this in mind is what I come here every night on the Tessa-Marie Show on the Morning Blessing, is to tell you I have a mission to help you live your best life, a mission to make sure that you have an opportunity and a choice to make. So tonight on the Tessa-Marie Show, we're talking about leadership and physical prosperity. Now, you maybe would look at it and figure out, somebody will say, Tessa-Marie, leadership and physical prosperity. Yes, leadership. Leaders are especially vulnerable to stress, to diseases that are caused by stress, by sometimes not taking care of themselves. And most leaders are more interested of having a healthy team. Because in their mind, that healthy team is what is going to reflect the bottom line. And that is what leaders are primarily interested in. That is the outcome. What is our result? What is the result going to be? But leaders have to understand one thing. Leaders must now come to the realization that their physical prosperity is more important or as important as that of every subordinate on that team, in that organization. Leadership has to understand they are the mirror, they are the top, they are up here. Leaders have to take into consideration that although they are a leader, that does not mean that their physical prosperity is not a reflection of the company. Therefore, it is likely that leaders are not only important to the team, but they also have to make sure that the team sees them as the beacon of physical prosperity. In an organization, if the leaders are not fulfilling their physical prosperity for the prosperity of the team, that leader is going to find out that the fish does rot from the head. So if the leader is standing there and their physical prosperity is also weak, there is no incentive on the others in that team or organization to make an effort to take care of their physical prosperity. They look around them. We follow what we see. So one of the things that we must be careful about as leadership is to recognize as a key factor that we must shape the performance of our team, not only by the outcome of the results at the bottom line, and that the traditional old manager that has the authoritarian, autocratic ways towards the subordinate is my way or the highway, and you are not fulfilling your thing as a leader, that type of leader is almost extinct in this new world. The leader has to reflect not only in his words and the vision of the company, but he is a vision of the company by his physical prosperity. In this day of constant communication, where the team members, the subordinates in a company, they want to be engaged. They want to be part of that company. They do not only want from the top to tell them what to do. They want to be part. They want to take part in communication. They want to understand what's happening. They want to be part of the team. They are more demanding than before. So leadership styles have changed. And if the leaders do not realize that their physical health, their physical prosperity is part of what the team looks at. If you as a leader physically is overweight, Physically, your clothes just looks like it doesn't belong to you. And physical prosperity means what you wear also. So physical prosperity, you look like you just took your shirt out of the dryer. And it is rumpled and crushed. And there is leftovers from yesterday's lunch on your tie. And your pants is loose or too tight, and you're constantly having to pull it one way or pull it the other. You wear a pair of shoes that look like it came from a hobo. It is dirty, the soles are worn, and your sleeves of your shirt is all dirty too, and your nails are untidy. Yes, you represent that company. What do you think the rest of the team is saying to themselves? If he or she who's making all this money dresses like that, who am I with my little pittance of a salary to create an environment that is better when this person here, who is supposed to be head of the company, looks like he fell off a boat? You think he's going to tell them he can look at himself in the mirror or stand at a meeting and say to the staff, as a leader, your physical appearances are disgusting. You guys are not able to do anything without, and absenteeism is up. And you're not meeting your targets. Look at you. Don't you think in this day of boldness, somebody is going to stand up and say to him, who are you to talk to us about physical prosperity? When you do not even take care of yourself, we lead by what we see. What you see is what we live. Live by experience. Show us that you too are fit. Show us that your clothes fits you. Show us your shoes is clean. Show us there was no more soup left on your tie. Show us that your hair looks like you shampooed it today. Show us. And that's what the teams are going to say. We lead by experience. And as a leader, you cannot tell me how to dress and how to be physically fit when you are not an image of physical fitness and prosperity. So leadership in this new world is taking a hit. That autocratic behavior, my way or the highway, is going to tell the leader goes the highway, not the team member. The world has changed. You want to be a leader? Then you have to show the kind of leader you want to be by being that leader of yourself. You begin to be a leader by leading yourself first. Managing yourself first. Managing your physical prosperity first. Being self-aware of when you're not going the right way. When your weight is going across and down and heavy and everything else. When you haven't taken the time to dress properly. When the shoes that you're wearing is not the right shoe to come to work, you do not represent something that the employees want to take part on. That type of energy, that physical, that prosperity that is weak, affects the rest of the team. The team will always tell you, you cannot do that. Because that autocratic approach indicating that employees should respond to leadership styles in which supervisors encourage them to do what you have to do. No. Nowadays, employees respond to the supervisor that encourages them to with open communication and participation. That staff leads the way. And they follow the leader. They do what the leader gives me the vision and I'll take it with me. Nowadays, it's a more interactive social environment where physical prosperity of the employees and leaders are encouraged to be at its best. Leaders now find themselves in an unenviable position of having to lead by example. That's what the world has said, lead by example. Show me your physical prosperity so I can follow in your footsteps and have that physical prosperity. That is what it is. So poor physical prosperity of leaderships, put them in the position of where they will say, who are you, sir, to tell us we need to be physically fit? Who are you? When you are not able to climb 2 flights of stairs without huffing and puffing and showing up with a full red face. Who are you, sir, to tell us how to be physically fit? So physical prosperity, my dear, in an organization is huge. How are we going to participate in summer sports or winter sports or a meet where all the organization members go and the top are physically not prosperous? Overweight, untidy clothes, the shuffled shirt not ironed, pants that are wrinkled, shoes that are unclean, yesterday's soup on their tie or on their shirt or on their pants. Everything is sloppy. And you expect your team to look like they're superstars. You think they're going to do that? No, they're not. And if they don't do that with their prosperity, physical prosperity, what do you think the numbers will be at the end of the day, and how will it affect the bottom line? So to be a leader, physically, you have to show that you're physically prosperous. And that doesn't mean only your physical body. What you wear represents you as a manager, as a leader. If yesterday's soup is on your tie and last week's spaghetti is on those pants, and the shoes you are wearing looks like it came, as I said, drop off the bus, and it got dragged in the mud and you put it on, and the shirt on top of this is rumpled, who are you leading, I ask? What do you expect? Those days of autocratic leaders are gone. People want to be part of a team. So you cannot participate in the summer sport, and you expect us to go out there, play baseball with the rival company or rival department and win. And you are not participating. That's time away from my life, because these things are kept after work. So as a leader, you need to be part of the team. That leader that is sitting in his corner office, eating his sandwich at his desk, stress, like the stress itself is his first name. That leader does not exist anymore, not in this new environment we're in. You know, leadership has to put their physical prosperity and that of their team as the top. A weak physical prosperity in an organization makes you lose money, loads of absenteeism, time off for stress, time off for chronic fatigue syndrome. Because looking at this person over there, that's my leader, and I look and I'm thinking, really? What are you doing for me? You're not making me want to be successful in this company. I need a paycheck. I'm going to work for that paycheck. I will come physically looking like nothing. I had to pull up one of my employees. I hired the man. I chose him. Somebody I really trusted told me to hire him. He's really great. I kind of could see that in him. But when he came to church, I wanted to put him inside of one of the cleaners' pressing cupboard. Put him in there and let the steam from the pressing machine steam his shirts, steam his pants, pull it up. Where's your waist? And those shoes, man, they have last year's salt from the snow still on the shoe, and this is May. Come on. And you're walking along, your hands in your pocket. Your hair, there was no COVID, and this man hadn't got a haircut, and he needed one. And worst of all, he looked like me. So when I saw that, I wanted to take the garden hose and hose him down. I had to pull him up and say, listen to me, man. This way you need to iron your shirt. You need to wear clothes that fits you, iron them, fix them, clean your shoes, cut your hair. And when you're walking in that branch, walk like you want to succeed. Take your hands out of your pocket I am not giving you $5 million to invest for me if you look like you don't even have $2. Come on, man. And this person wanted to be a leader and constantly asked me to promote them. And I say, where to? So leadership means to be a leader. There's another young man I had, Emmanuel Wanzama. And that young man was also recommended to me. And that young man came to work as a teller. And he was also always spiffy, put together. I promoted him from 1, 2, 3 position. He was an FA. He came to me one day and he was actually crying. And he said to me, I'm getting an opportunity for a better position outside of the bank. And I'm really upset that I will have to leave. And I don't want to hurt you after all what you've done for me. I said, listen to me. You have to go get that job. Whatever it is, go get it. You're well suited for anything. Emmanuel went and he got the job. And he came back. He said, I got the job. Days later, the whole thing. And he said, and I just got a call from one of the men in the circle of 4, and I'm here, that was interviewing me, the last interview. And he said he needed to tell me this so that I will never change. So I figure where this came from. So I'm bringing it back to you. This man said to me, you know why you got the job? There were 15 other applicants that were much better than you. Maybe had more experience. Education level is the same because you're so young. But when you sat at the interview, your shoes was polished. And that, people, happened in 2007. It's not 49 years ago. He said your shoes was polished and you had a nice pair of socks. You looked like you were going to succeed no matter what. And he said, that's why we gave you the job. And Emmanuel went on to be great at that job. Today he's running some big organization, stable here, but working out of Africa. And he just went back to Africa. He's on LinkedIn. I sent him a message. I said, Emmanuel, I always knew it would succeed. He said, yes, because I had you as a mentor. So as a leader, you know what I did? These men would come to work with their shoes dirty. I went and I got 2 big tins of shoe polish, put it in my bottom drawer. And if they just saw my eyes head towards their feet, they know where they had to go. Because I needed my team to succeed. I had to do it. I was female, yes, and I had like 8 guys. And I had to dress like I was the absolute best so that I can tell them. So much so, every single white, black, and Filipino were on the team. And I had one young man that somebody came and insulted him. And of course, somebody brought it to my attention. So when that person came to the bank to complain, I brought him in my office. And I closed the door. And one of the tall white guys, what was it, Kevin Johnson? Kevin came and he's leaning as if he's leaning on the wall just in case he thinks something would happen. So that man was wearing dark reflective sunglasses, black sunglasses. And he's talking to me and I'm seeing myself. And you know me, you can imagine what is leaving my soul and going up to my head. I looked at him and I said, no, Tessa-Marie, you're going to have to fix this. I opened my bottom drawer, I took my sunglasses and I put it on. And I sat like this. And he said to me, why do you have your sunglasses on? I said, I don't know. He said, you have yours, so you must know something's happening to your eye while you have sunglasses on and you're talking to me and I can't see your eyes. So now we're even. He took up the sunglasses, put it down. And I said to him, why didn't you give my team member the ID? Oh, I've been in the bank longer than him working. I said, I didn't ask you, well, how long you've been here? This is a bank. This is rules and regulation. Why? He's a black guy like me. And then he said something to me. I'm going to complain to head office. And I used a word that starts with an F. And then it was foot. And then Kevin Johnson, when he left, Kevin said, Tessa-Marie, did you tell the man about his foot? I said, yeah. And he looked at me and he walked away. He said, I thought he would get you. He would do something to you. But that's what leaders do. You stand up for your team. You make sure you are there physically ready to take on whatever they send your way for your team. But when the team is coming and they're not living up to the standards you have set, as a leader, you doesn't matter if they look like you, same race as you, same country as you, same mother as you pull them up. Because they are going to bring down the organization with you. And you will be going down with the ship. It will sink. And you will be in it. So one bad apple in that box of team members have to be corrected and fixed. Although I chose this young man, he still wanted to dress like he was a ragamuffin. And I had to pull him up. And today, he's still in the bank, but you would never know it's the same person. He calls me all the time. And he has a great job. He dresses for the position. He understands that. So leadership is not only the bottom line. You have to help the team. You must recognize when your team is in stressful positions, whether it's at home or at work. As a leader, you have to know, and you notice your team member is coming to work later. Instead of saying you're late, you have a conversation to find out what is physically wrong with them. You can only do this if you as a manager are physically fit, your brain is functioning right. That's how you can do it. If you have so much stress because you do not know how to take a day of fear of leaving the team to manage themselves for weeks because you're on vacation, then you are wrong. You are now making yourself weak, stressful, not ready to lead. And then you are sick. What is going to happen to that team? Or you are so stressed to the point you cannot manage. So you see, leadership is not only bringing in the bottom line, it's leaving a lasting taste in your team's mouth. Physically, they will remember you. When you put your physical health first, and then you teach them how to take care of themselves physically, so they too can get to the top of that ladder. That's what leaders do. You as a leader, if you find you cannot walk up 2 flights of stairs, or you cannot go if the elevator is down, you stop, man. Find out why. Get off the couch. Make a change. So that physically they can see you are making the change. The leaders of an organization are not in a position to always be like that. But you choose that. You choose to be physically fit so your team can see you. Leaders are not born leaders. They're created by you taking the time and putting the effort into it. So leadership and physical prosperity is a trickle-down kind of thing. It does not just splatter. It trickles down the line. And it will hit the lowest person on the totem pole. But make sure when it hits them, it's something that will lift them up. Leaders are not born. They're born that way. They're created in a way that they stimulate and make themselves and choose. Physical fitness makes you... What I know for sure, as much as we look at discrimination, they discriminate against you for promotions. I know that when you're not physically fit. When your physical prosperity is weak, I've seen it. I have seen it myself. I've observed it with others, people that I learned so much for. They were like from walking encyclopedias of rules and regulations. And they stayed in that same job until they died. They will not promote them because, especially if we have a meeting on the 2nd floor of a building where there is no elevator and the desk is on the 1st floor, they cannot even take those flights of stairs. That is not right, but that is how it is. And we cannot fix it until you are a leader. And you can only make the changes. So leadership and your physical prosperity is important. And it affects the rest of the team. When the team is being trained under that type of thing, The first person to see that should be the leader. And talk to this team member that is physically not fit. And maybe share your story, what you're doing this for. We always have some story or a friend or a person we knew. Health condition is important in an organization. It affects the bottom line. Physical prosperity is not only just physical prosperity. At the end of the year, there's the absenteeism brings down the bottom line. So as a leader, you have to choose that. So leaders must realize physical prosperity is not only the bones and the joints, it's how you look, how your clothes is on you, what you choose to wear. You cannot expect to come to work if a long dress, flip-flop on your feet and your stomach hanging out, and by all means you want me to promote you. And you're telling me your clothes shouldn't affect it, but how am I going to tell this person who wants to invest 10 million that you will not take the money and run away? They don't care, that's what they see. So choose. My job as a leader is to make you see that picture. My job as a leader is to say, you want promotion? You have to play the game. You want to succeed, you have to do what you have to do to succeed. And maybe when you get to the top of the ladder, then tell everybody to come to work with no clothes on. I don't care. But no, you want to go that way to observe the leader. If you see your leader is clean all the time, nicely dressed, whoever that leader is, besides doing top-notch work, bring that into. Put your wardrobe to play. Put your physical health to play. Be the first to organize something because you're physically not exhausted. The leader is not exhausted, then the leader can participate in the physical activities that keep the team healthy. And that's what it's all about. When you have a team as a leader and you have people that are sick, it affects your bottom line. And it affects your bonus. So physical prosperity is paramount to success. You have to be able to walk. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to be functioning at maximum physically. So leadership and physical prosperity does not only rest with you, or you the leader. Your job, your leadership rests with the entire team. Your job is to see that healthy prosperity is floating through all the team. When we had extra money, I would bring a person to give them a table back massage. One year we had people come in to give everybody manicure, men and women. Everybody got a manicure that day. And that's what you do because that keeps them healthy mentally, but physically, no, the shoulder is not hurting too much. They don't have to stay home tomorrow, do they? That's what you do as a leader. You find ways to make your team physically fit, but you have to be there first. You can only lead by example. So sending you light and joy. I hope you enjoy this.